So you just built your brand new gaming PC, fired it on for the first time, and you met with nothing but a blank screen and a 02 boot error code. There are a number of things that could be causing this, so here are some steps that you can follow to help fix this problem. Step number 1. This goes without saying, but make sure all your parts are compatible. Head on down to pcpartspicker.com and just make sure that all the components you have are compatible with each other. I'll put a link in the description below. Step number 2. Use a power supply calculator. There are many you can find online that are quick and free to use. Make sure that your power supply is giving enough power to all the components in your PC. Not having enough power can easily cause a 02 boot error code and causing your PC not to boot. Step number 3. If you're using a Ryzen 5000 series CPU like I am, you'll have to update your BIOS to the latest version in order for it to be compatible. This has to be done before your first boot. I'll put a link below to show you how to do this as well. Step number 4. If you installed your motherboard yourself, make sure there aren't any extra standoffs installed in the case. An extra standoff that's touching the back of your motherboard may cause it to short and not boot, and in turn also damage or scratch your motherboard. Step 5. When connecting power to your CPU, make sure to have both the 8-pin as well as any extra power sockets plugged in. What caused my issue was that I left the extra 4-pin unplugged, as I was told this was only necessary for overclocking. Strangely enough, my PC booted a few times, and never again. Turns out, my CPU wasn't getting enough power. So as soon as I plugged in the extra 4-pin, it booted and ran perfectly fine without any error codes, and that solved my issue. Step 6. Use an HDMI and not a DisplayPort cable. Once your PC is set up and running, you can switch back over to DisplayPort. Don't ask me why, but this has worked for some people, and it's worth giving a try. Step 7. Remove any USB or SATA drives. Your PC may be looking for a boot file in the wrong place. This can happen if you have anything other than a USB with your boot file plugged into your PC. Step 8. If you've tried all the previous steps and you are still faced with this error, try booting with 1 stick of RAM. After that, try 1 stick of RAM in each individual RAM slot. Step 9. Unplug your PC completely. Remove the battery from your motherboard. Then, using a paperclip, short out the 2 pins that say CLRTC for 10 seconds. Use your manual to find out exactly where on your motherboard these 2 pins are. After that, reinsert the battery and try booting again. Step 10. If after all these steps you are still having this error, I would suggest getting help from an IT professional. It may be something very small that's just overlooked, or it could be something faulty and they could help identify that. So, that's it guys. After 2 weeks of struggling, these were the best troubleshooting steps I could find, and I really hope it helps with some of you out there. So till then, see you in the next one.